Fair use, fair use. This video is not intended to make any merchandise money, but just to make a point for educational purposes.
Hey, yo, Rakim, showtime.
Thou who have sworn in any great MC, I honor. You've been away from your game for quite some time. I can guarantee you a successful return. Riches, fame,
beyond your imagination.
and in exchange, you will help me to, as you say, the crowd. What makes you think I need you, man? Come now. We can all use a little help from our friends. Never that, man. I work for a higher cause. Though you resist my generous offer, there will be other temptations you will not resist. Yeah.
All right. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to our powers, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rucha HaKodesh. A give it up honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught us this truth that are contributing well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. A peace, mercy, and blessing to the beloved Akim that are out there pushing this word wholeheartedly in truth and in sincerity, that are not wavering to the left nor to the right, but constantly staying on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even shalom to the few sisters, the Aquabs that are out there, and even shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the other nations but their seed line, going back to our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the brother Ira, coming back with another lesson till Lord willing, edifying, feed the lambs of the Lord. All right, which the video that I played in the beginning was from Rakim, Guess Who's Back. All right, which, you know, Rakim is a dope MC. All right, but the video pretty much kind of shows you how, in order for you to be pushed at the forefront, you know, when it comes down to the music industry, you got to pretty much sign them contracts and sell your soul to the devil. All right, and that's what a lot of these artists have done. Okay, they've made a deal with the leaders that are behind the scenes, which we know them to go back to the 1948ers. All right, the small hats. Okay, they pretty much call the shots and run everything in the music industry. But the Edomites, okay, all right, they're connected to, all right, the spiritual demon Satan. All right, and I'm gonna run the video back a little bit, all right, because you heard Satan. You see the Jake, he had the pretty much top part was human, half part was, you know, like a goat or something. All right, but you know, he's supposed to pretty much represent like Baphomet, Satan, so to speak. All right, so that's, you know, Satan uses the self-proclaimed white man, okay, in order to use Jake as a catalyst in order to what? Control the people, all right, through enchantments, you know. All right, and what do they gain in return? They gain either enhanced abilities, you know, fame, fortune, all right, and you know, all at the cost of what? Selling their own people out. All right, because that's what majority of our people do. They sell their own people out. But all right, let me grab this in the book of Matthew's chapter 4. All right, to show you that, you know, this is how Satan came even to Yahweh Shai. All right, he tried to offer Yahweh Shai, all right, the riches of the world. All right, Matthew 4:1, it says, then was Yahweh Shai led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards an hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. All right, which us as Israelites, really the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we supposed to be living by every word. Okay, all right. Really, what's the whole duty of men? All right, which is to ultimately serve Yahweh by Shema Shai. That's really our duty. All right, as us being Israelite men. Okay. Let me grab that as well. All right, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. It says, Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Right? That's what we're supposed to do. Fear the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shai. Fear Yahweh and His beloved Son Yahweh Shai. All right? And keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of men. All right? See, this is the whole duty of men. It says, For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. All right. A lot of these individuals that sell their souls, they got wicked works behind them. Okay. They got a lot of wicked works behind them. Okay. That they got to continuously keep doing in order to keep that fame and to keep that status. Okay. And that's what happens when you pretty much sell your soul to the devil. Alright, you live in the life of sin. Okay? Alright, you gotta constantly keep living in a life of sin. You signed a contract. Let's go back to Matthew 4 and 4 again. It says, But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle and of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give His angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So this right here show you that even the devil can quote the scriptures, know the scriptures. He was quoting out of the book of Psalms, the 91st chapter. All right. It says, Yahweh Shai said unto him, It is written, Again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. And again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. You see? So the spiritual demon Satan took Yahweh Shai up to this mountain, and he showed him all the different kingdoms. And one of the kingdoms that he showed him was right here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay? He showed them the things of what it would take in order to have that fame and fortune, like you see in today's artists, what it takes for them to have that so-called I'm gonna say is tainted glory. All right, because really it's a shame when you understand what they got to do in order to keep this, keep that type of fame going. All right, so let's go to the next verse. It says, Unto him all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. You see? All right? Satan, he will give you the world. Okay? The riches of the world. Okay? He'll give you your heart's desire. That's why a majority of these artists, when they say they thinking God, they're not thinking Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Okay? The God that they're referring to is the spiritual demon Satan. Okay? That's the God that they're referring to. All right? That's their God that they made allegiance to. Okay? It says, Then saith Yahweh Shai unto him, Get thee in, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. All right? Let's go back to the video. I'm going to play a little bit of it from the beginning. Let's hear what he got to say.
Hey, yo, Rakim, showtime.
Thou who have sworn in many great MC, I honor. been away from your game for quite some time. I can guarantee you a successful return. Riches, fame,
Beyond your imagination.
and in exchange, you will help me to, as you say, the crowd.
What makes you think I need you, man?
Come now. We can all use a little help from our friends.
Never that, man. I work for a higher cause.
Though you resist my generous offer, there will be other temptations you will not resist.
Yeah, there it is. Jake can't resist that temptation, you know. All right. Jake end up becoming destroyed over that temptation. All right. But you heard what was said. Okay. All right. In order for you to have that fame, in order for you to move the crowd, in order for you to be, you know, the poster child, all right, in the music world, so to speak, you know, get those different deals, all right, you got to sell your soul, all right, you got to sign those contracts. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 28, and and let's go to verse 15. Isaiah 28 and 15. It says, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death and with hell, are we at agreement? When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehoods have we hid ourselves. All right. So what they built around them was, all right, a strong concept of deception, right? And that's why you've heard over the years, like one of the rappers, Sukihana, you know, she got on video and she said how much she made a mistake, that she sold her soul. Okay, all right, because you gotta constantly live in a life of sin. You gotta constantly keep doing, all right, exactly what the devil wants. And we're talking about the physical, all right, demon Satan, all right, these Edomites, all right, because when they call, you gotta answer. At least they cast you down because you're controlled through that contract, an oath signed through blood. All right, that's what you built for yourself. Okay, you've traded your soul for temporary riches. All right, which, as I may mention, a man's supposed to serve the Lord and do what's pleasing in the eyes of the Yahweh Shema Shai for everlasting life. Okay. Let me go to this other video real fast. I want to play this one.
Son, what they're doing is giving you the blueprint. They call it's been a minute, fam, but I'm back. I thought the title was fitting, so we're going to talk about Rakim today. The title track is Guess Who's Back. In the video, Satan is offering him fame and fortune. There's nothing new under the sun. What they're doing is giving you the blueprint. They call it the game, but it's not a game. These people really follow Satan and they want you to do the same thing. A lot of people think it's the newer generation, Beyonce, Jay-Z, but like I said, this has been around a long time and I'm going to show you. Like Jay-Z, he calls himself a god too, Rakim Allah. As you can see, that's not even his real name. And he's heavy into Egyptology, which is where he got the Ra from. And that's where they get the one-eye symbolism and the pyramids from. Listen to this next clip.
And I take you for a walk through hell. Freeze your dome. Then watch your eyeballs swell.
You see that motion they're making with their hand? I would always see it, but I never really knew what it meant. I just happened to come across a video one day on TikTok. It was one of those 432 hertz sound frequency type videos. Usually I pass right on by them, but she made that motion with her hand. I was like, wow, that's what that means. She was talking about theta waves. Theta waves give you direct access to the subconscious mind. It's people that listen to these frequencies to open up portals and to access dream states. At this state, your subconscious mind is most receptive to reprogramming. And that's exactly what they're doing with music. In this video about Beyonce, I talked about the 1920s film Metropolis and how they used a robot to control the masses. As you can see here in Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full, he made reference to that same movie. Fame is just a byproduct. They get paid for pushing Satan's agenda.
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
That track is from Dennis Edwards, Don't Look Any Further. And as you can see, it's been sampled a bunch of times by different artists. The most notable probably would be Tupac Hit 'Em Up. It's the reason why they keep using the same music over and over. Now, if you see my other videos, you know
Yeah, because a lot of these tracks, you can kind of look it up for yourself, but when they play it backwards, it got all type of satanic messages. Like she was kind of going into how the music hits your subconscious because what is frequencies, and frequencies does have a power upon the mental, and frequencies also can control the water movement within your body. That's how powerful frequencies are, so Esau uses Jake in order to destroy their own people. That's why I said that they sellouts, which, like, she made mention that all of them all of them are sellouts. Every last one of them. 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, Rakim, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, Lil Kim, Beyonce, Monique, anybody that you could think of, Shaq, everybody that you see that's mainstream at the forefront of, whatever they got going on in commercials, this, that, and the third, they've all sold their soul to the devil. They all are compromised, okay? All right? And in the eyes of these Edomites, they're nothing more than just court jesters. But in the eyes of the masses and the people, all right, they're looked at as gods. They're looked at as, people that you idolize, that you want to be like, all right? When in reality, all right, our people ain't shit, okay? Our people ain't shit, I want to go back to Isaiah 28, and I'm going to jump down to 18. It says, "And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it," all right? Because Esau uses you, and then after he's done using you, he casts you to the side, all right? And then furthermore, you got to take what you have done up with Yahweh Bashim Shai, all right? This is why the scriptures say, what shall a man gain if he sell his soul, okay? All right? Let me get that as well, okay, before I go back, because we're dealing with high level of witchcraft, okay? All these individuals are very much satanic. They're Satanists, all right? That's why you'll see him hanging out with Michelle Lammy, you know what I'm saying? You'll see them hanging out with certain individuals that are known for doing all type of demonic shit, right? Because they dibble and dabble on the left hand side. Actors, musicians, NBA players, football players, so on and so forth. Anybody in that realm, they all have sold their soul. Okay, let me see if I can find it. I'm just going off the top. I'm just going over a couple scriptures. Little one, this is edifying. Okay. All right, let's grab this right here, Matthew 16, and let's go to 24. Matthew 16, 24. It says, "Then said Yahweh shine to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." All right, and that's what we should be doing, not trying to acquire our life here, Alright, you should be willing to lose your life here in order to win Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's why it'd be a rare thing for a rich man to give up his riches in order to turn to the Lord. Okay, alright. the Lord ultimately deals with the lowly man, all right? Because when Jake get a taste of that money, they never could let it go, and they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to keep that money, all right? No matter if it means destroying their own people, as long as they're happy in the inside, as long as they can fill that void that's within their heart, you know? All right? Let's go to verse 26. It says, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? All right? So you see, what shall you profit? Nothing but death and torment. All right? That's what you shall profit. Okay? And then one thing about our people is that they have consciences. You know? After they done decades, years of dirt, you know, and did all type of decrepit shit behind closed doors, you know, they come to a point where they start speaking up on certain things, and then Esau just offs them, puts them to death, you know. Michael Jackson tried speaking up on certain shit. Prince started speaking up on certain shit, you know. Individuals after them start saying certain shit, you know, and where they all go, they end up in the spiritual realm, all right, because they breached the contract, all right. That's what happens, you know. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video and grab maybe 1 or 2 more scriptures and close it out.
Talked about the left and the right, the left being the side of sacrifice. Go that way, not that way. Like I said, it's not a game. Now watch how she comes from the left side with the red glove. She's playing Satan. People find this stuff, and what they do is just pull you in, and before you know it, you're in a state of psychosis. Deuteronomy 28:14 says don't go to the left or to the right after other gods, and that's what they doing. They want you to serve Satan. Left and right is the same. Watch this hand gesture. Pulling you in. Go to the left. Notice how they both dressed in red. One thing about Beyonce, she gonna let you know who her father is. Watch her right here. Pulling you in, along with the one-eyed symbolism and the one knee taking a bow to Satan. Shaka Khan, lady in red on the left, and he pointing to the right. Same thing. Now watch right here, she pulls you in. Now notice that she goes down the right side of her face. Now watch our boy here, giving the vow of silence, point to the right. And watch her, she's gonna go to the right. Get that same eye wink. Exact same. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Alright, so you brothers kind of see it for yourself, you know. Alright, but hey, our people have become more wicked than the wicked. Alright, let's get that in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5. Verse, let me see. 25. All right, let's go. Jeremiah 5 and 25. It says, your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. Alright, I go for women as well. Okay? Alright, their job is to pull you into the left-hand side. Okay? Recruit you to start working for the devil. Alright? They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. Alright, they catch men, they catch women. Okay? Alright, and their job is to pull you into the left-hand side, for that way you can be destroyed along with them. Alright? It says, as a cage is full of birds, so are the houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich, you see. They wax rich. Because why? They sold their soul to the devil. The devil has, quote unquote, blessed them in this life. You know, that's what they exchange for their soul. Fame and riches. Alright, temporarily satisfaction. Alright, but deeper inside, alright, that's why they have to suppress themselves with all type of luxurious things, pills, syrup, drugs, so on and so forth, in order for them to fill that void that's within them, all right? Because Jake does have a conscience when it comes down to what they're doing to their own people. They think about the shit that they do, all right, but they can't stop. That's not a life to live, you know? All right, that's why the scriptures speak about living your life sincerely, all right, living your life honestly, you know, being free, all right? You know, we might be poor, but we're free in our minds, you know? Not laden with that type of burden, okay? All right? Let's go to verse 28. It says, they are waxing fat, they shine. Yeah, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge, all right? They don't really care about, you know, the little young ladies that are growing up idolizing what these women are doing, you know? Cardi B, Sexy Red, Sukihana, you know, all these different songs that sexually exploit their own people, and got little, you know, Israelite girls, you know, growing up to be women that are actually mimicking and copying these demonic behaviors, okay, which is going to lead them to destruction. All right, they don't judge that what they doing is wrong and come out and say that, okay, because they know if they do, Esau gonna silence them, you know. All right, there's no justice in their heart. That's why our people ain't shit, you know. They're willing to destroy their own people in order for them to satisfy their lifestyle, you know. It says, shall I not visit for these things? Saith the Lord, shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? All right, you see, even though they got this temporary lifestyle that they're enjoying, living it up, having a good time, out on yachts, all the women that they want around them, you know, driving the cars that they like. When the Heavenly Father sent His Son to step in, these are the type of individuals that the Lord is going to destroy, all right? Because they deserve it. And that time is coming to an end real soon. When Esau falls, the wicked 2/3 of our people are going to fall as well. So just something real quick, Lord willing, was edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to our powers, Yahweh, Bashim Abashai, Bashim Akakadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect. And it's on to the next. Shalom, Akim, Shalom.